Hello? Who? Who? Dave? Dave's not here.
Well, hey, everyone. Time for Puzzle Talk, the geocaching puzzle podcast brought to you by the Geocache Talk Network. If you'd like to become a patron, click on the Become a Patron link on the front page. It's the little red heart on the Geocache Talk website. Head on over to patreon.com/Geocache Talk for more details. Patrons get the now famous blackout coins and other geocaching items during the year. That's the bonus. Bonus content, bonus items, bonus invites to special events. We play some games periodically. We've got a new game coming up in June, guys. We're not going to play any more Quiplash. We've got a new game to play. Similar, though. Audience gets to play along, and all that is only for patrons. Support levels start at as little as Bison Tube level, which is $3 a month. Here are your hosts, Charles Watkins and Tom Brotherman. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Howdy, Gary.
Howdy. How are you?
It's it's another day trapped in paradise.
It's starting to grow. It's starting to grow back a little bit. I noticed you got a little.
I no lie. I have lost my razor. I haven't had to use one in over a year, and then all of a sudden you're like, you need it. Like I cut it all off with clippers. And then I was like, I need my razor. Like, where's my razor? Like, I haven't seen that thing in, well over a year. So, yeah.
That's true. It's been a while.
I may have to just knuckle down and go buy one. But yeah, it's, yeah. So.
Who let Electric Water Boy in tonight? He's always in. What are you talking about, Hodag? Come on.
Yeah, he's being mean to me.
Darren, good to see you. Glad to know that Wednesday will arrive. We got an interesting show tonight. I like this one. I've liked them all, but I really kind of.
You're supposed to like all of them.
I do. I have liked all of them. And this one definitely fascinates me because now that I've kind of read through the notes, I kind of want to put one of these. I kind of want to make one of these puzzles. So that doesn't always happen, by the way. I mean, I appreciate some of the puzzles that we have talked about in the past, but I'm not making one myself like that. I think they're interesting. But not all. But in a lot of them, I've had this, like source code. I did one with the source code because I thought that was interesting. The one that you did way back, Charles, about a year ago, probably now. We talked about how you could hide the information in the source code.
Oh yeah, the invisible text in the source code, so it doesn't show up on the cache page. Yeah.
I really want to do that, so I did that, and of course, it's been found, but I'm sure there's a lot of people have been struggled with it, and I'm willing to help anybody if I'll give anybody a nudge that they need.
Right.
So I guess let's talk a bit of news, and then we'll get into the.
I'm gonna do a plug for Cachely because
okay,
that invisible source code shows up just plain as day in Cachely.
Does it really? Golly,
you just slip over to the web part, and everything that you hidden shows up in there.
Yeah, in the source code section.
Darn, I got to take a look at my own cache now. All right, before we're doing that, let's first do some news.
All right. No,
Go ahead.
sorry,
Normal
not a
news.
whole lot of news going on, but we do have Puzzle Talk merch available for
Yes.
purchase at the Geocache Talk store. So you can go to geocachetalk.com and click on the store tab at the upper right corner of the screen, or you can go directly to the store at chromiaprint.com/collections/geocaching, and you will get to see all of the amazing Geocache Talk merchandise that is there. All of the shows are doing something, but Puzzle Talk in particular has a t-shirt with a puzzle on the back of it.
Puzzling puzzle.
Yeah, and when we threw down the challenge and threw some extra sweet swag in the deal last week for this, was that if you purchase one of our t-shirts and were the first person to email the correct coordinates to the puzzle before next month's first show, so you got 3 weeks left to get this thing done, Gary was going to throw in an extra Sunday show coin.
Yep. There's the Sunday show coin.
Tom was going to eat a number 4 in your honor.
Number
at the
4
Whataburger.
burger.
And he has to down a Dr. Pepper shake at the same time.
Yep.
But I've got a 1-year premium membership that I'm going to throw in the mix.
Nice.
So
Ooh.
if somebody gets this thing solved before the beginning of next month's first show, right? So
Yep.
you roughly got 3 weeks here.
Correct.
You will get a blue Puzzle Talk coin mailed to you from me. So
Yep.
one of mine.
Yep.
You will get, Gary will mail you a Sunday show coin, the new Sunday show coin.
Yep.
And then I'll include in mine, if I can find it. I've got it here somewhere. I'll have to find it. I've got a premium membership for 1 year that I've got a card
Yeah.
that's redeemable for a 1 year premium member subscription.
Nice.
All of that is good if you can be the first person to solve the puzzle before next month's first show.
Yes.
Also, if you solve the puzzle, but you're not first to get an answer in, but you're first to actually go to the geocaching coordinates that you get from that puzzle, there is a regular Puzzle Talk coin.
Yep.
And one of my trackable tags on geocaching.com. Both of these are hidden at the location. So you solve the puzzle and be the first one to actually go visit the site. You'll get both of these that are hidden in the container that is hidden there at the coordinates that you get from the puzzle.
Nice.
So it's not a nano in the woods.
It is not a nano in the woods. This is my fly fishing container, but it's a container about this size, roughly.
Cool.
So, and it's got both of those coins hidden in it, and whatnot. So, there actually is some pretty good, sweet swag out there for you guys, as incentive to, grab a puzzle and try to solve it.
Yes, absolutely. Jeff, thanks for joining. We'll be using your tool spot later.
So it's not big enough to put these 2 trackables in.
No.
Dang
You're gonna have to find another cache for that.
Hey, you don't have to worry about that. I thought you were bringing those to Mingo.
I'm going to make them Simmel's problem.
That's right.
That's right.
It's going to be Ryan's problem.
Also, we got an email from one of our listeners.
Oh, cool.
Buzz82, his in real life name. There he is. So he solved the Mother of All Puzzles puzzle cache.
Oh,
that is a difficulty 5, and it's something like 25 different puzzles inside this one cache that you've got to all solve to get to it. I've looked at it a couple of times over the years, and I didn't realize this, but there's a huge Facebook group specifically for this puzzle cache
dedicated
that will help give you hints and nudges in the correct direction. So congratulations to Scott for getting, they're 50 levels. 50 levels. So yeah, so congratulations, and whatnot. That is not an easy puzzle to solve. And so there we go. Congratulations, Scott, on that. So
incredible.
And that's what we got in the news.
Oh, there's more, but hold on. Tonight's beer club, since somebody asked, it's just a ginger beer tonight. Ginger ale.
Yeah, Pizza Ninja wants to know if he can join your beer and puzzle of the month club.
Yeah, I don't drink cheap. When it comes to beer, I don't drink cheap stuff. So.
Oh, that's good.
There is news.
We have more news. We each have something. Hodag wants to mention he thinks he's had that bowling pin at one point. So there may be more than one. Sadly. That's for another show for sure. That's
I'm gonna drink when it's gone, that's for sure.
Okay. Go ahead. I got one item, and in case somebody wants to go try to that's the Mother of All Puzzles. If anybody wants to try to find that, we'll find it or solve it.
Yeah, it is for sure a difficulty 5. I'd looked at it when I was going to be doing a road trip from Washington, D.C. back to Colorado,
right?
And knew that I was going to be staying in the Columbus, Ohio area, and that's where the icon is. So I started looking at it, and I didn't backwards plan that correctly because I didn't give myself near enough time to finish it. So yeah.
Wow. So Dan says he was FTF on that. How about that? We got some experts in the group.
So your news is about a souvenir, or is it about souvenirs?
No, mine is about the geo art.
Okay.
So,
well, then let me do mine first because yours is going to be longer.
Go ahead.
So there's the new souvenirs that are out for the Science of Discovery.
Yes.
Where it's all the point stuff. And I finally got started. I've got the first two of them done. And then I saw today there's another one for, now I don't know. Oh, the Blue Switch Day.
Yes. Yes.
But you basically just have to find a cache or go to an event anytime after May 3rd or later.
Right.
You got the whole rest of the year to get that done. I think we might get that done.
I wonder
maybe a Mingo.
Yeah. Not that anybody's probably thought about it, but I wonder how many souvenirs you could get in one day. If you go to a Mega, you'll get the Mega souvenir. If you play your cards right, you could get all the science ones. If you haven't cashed in a while, you could get all the what are they called?
The Wonders of the World.
The Wonders of the World.
Wonders of the World.
Right. They're still out and available.
So in theory, you get all those.
But wait, there's more. And if you haven't been to Kansas,
you could get the Kansas souvenir.
Plus any other state along the way you haven't been to.
Right.
Or country.
Is there a souvenir for the maze?
I don't think so.
Go ahead. We're digressing. We're digressing quickly.
You stupid computer.
Tricky though. I mean, just something to. Yeah, I got three souvenirs the day before when we did the when Charles and I and Jesse did that big long letterbox hybrid power run, I got 3 souvenirs that one day, but that wasn't the day of the mega. So the mega was later. You could log the Mars rover. You could log the location lists.
Yeah, both of the location lists at this mega.
That
and you could get and you could get Ceto season 1.
Yes, right. You get all that in one day. Anyway, it was just a weird thought in my head. Okay. So that GeoArt came out. That is near. Let me pull it up here and show you. So this picture is no longer accurate because they've all been found now. So no FTFs left, but those are all puzzles.
They are all puzzles.
They are all puzzles. So if you want to go do those, if you're not going out there, I would think after you do 2 or 3, I don't think you necessarily have to do any more. But if you're planning to go out there and you figure out 1 or 2, you can figure out all 100 and whatever there are. So anyway, kind of cool. I like the concept. So I don't know if you guys have taken a look at that or not, but
yeah, I have. I laughed when somebody said, "Oh, that's a neat little firework GeoArt that y'all did out there," and be like, "It's a palm tree." But then when you go back and look at it, you're like, "I can see where they came out with the fireworks."
Did you see the one that somebody had Sideshow Bob as the picture? If you think about it, that is kind of like a Sideshow Bob. So, anyway, so
one last thing.
Yep.
This thing here, this travel bug.
This TB.
Have you seen anything on this? Bug's called Among the Stars. And the owner's geocaching HQ, and I have no clue how you get the code for it, but I've worked on it off and on.
Yeah, you can always get a code if you probably need it. You got the TB for it. You got the travel bug number.
Well, that's the one that just takes you to see it. This one won't let you log it.
And for those on our audio show, it's the travel bug number is TB9VCYP.
And what do we do with that, Tom? Other than try to log it? Is there something else?
Try to log it, but you got to get the code somewhere, and I don't have a clue.
There's
People are coming up with it.
There's ways to get that. There are definite ways.
I have not figured it out. So. All right, well, let's get on with the show.
Yes, let's do that. So, Tom, take it away.
All right, well, I can make that banner disappear. Now, hold on a minute.
Yeah, we'll 9V.
There we go. All right. So in the show notes, we've got the tools and all.
Yes, it'll all be in the show notes, and I'll put up what I can into banners as well as we go along.
So this phone a friend thing tonight is not really about calling your buddies. It's actually just puzzle caches that involve a phone.
Absolutely.
And the first two we're going to talk about are pretty similar. The first one is SMS texting, where if you notice the letters on the phone, you got the numbers and letters. So the number 2's got an A, B, and C, and 3's got D, E, F. If you wanted an A, you would hit a 2. If you wanted to make a B, you'd hit 2 2. Oh, and if you needed a space, you'd hit 0. So, I can't copy that over there from that.
I put in the banner, by the way, and I sent everybody the thing too about the multi-tap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got different names. Multi-tap's what Decode uses. I use Decode a lot. I like Decode.
Yep.
Except for you put the French one on there, didn't you? Or does it?
You can also go to Jeff's page, tools.cachetheline.net, and type in the word phone, and you'll get a few different options. But go ahead.
So for an easy puzzle, doing this stuff, the multi-tap is pretty easy because, like I say, if you wanted an A, you just hit 2. If you wanted a B, it's 2 2 because that's telling you use the second letter on the number 2, or D, A, B, C, D, E. If you wanted an E, it'd be 3 3. So D is 3. E is 3 3. Since there's 2 3s, it would tell you use the second letter on the 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now if you want to get tough with this thing, very similar, but not quite like it, is T9 or Predictive Text, where no matter what letter you're using, you just use for A, B, or C, it's just a 2. And D, E, F is just a 3. And there was Predictive Text that you could type in way back when people use this stuff. I don't know if that's really still around or not. Haven't done it in forever, but it would guess what you were trying to text.
Oh yeah, I remember those days. You're like, no, that's not it.
It would give you some options, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah, T9.
So if you're reversing it, and there's some stuff that'll give you the guesses to it, but
yeah.
But without it, man, that's almost like playing Scrabble or something.
Yeah, that's a booger of one right there. It could be. Potentially. You can make it pretty tricky.
I don't even know if people know what that is anymore, though.
Yeah. Interesting. I like that.
That was like from the early days of texting.
Oh yeah. Can you?
Yeah, that's from back when you had the Nokia brick phone.
The flip phones that were about that long and about yay wide.
Yeah, the old Motorola Razors.
Yep.
Yeah.
My nightmare days, I think that come to mind when I think of those is I had a BlackBerry. And oh my gosh, what a mess that was. Yeah.
The Crackberry. I had one of those.
And we just found one of those at work and had to turn it into IT because we didn't know if it had any government data still stored on it. And the IT specialist looked at it and they were like, I don't even know how to turn this on. But do we have a power cable for this? Like they were like, I've heard of these, but I've never actually seen one. That young IT person. So it was kind of fun to drop that off in their lap and say, well, before I can dispose of it, you need to make sure that there's no, government data on the phone. So yeah, the BlackBerries.
Take a
That's
hammer
pretty
to
easy.
it.
There you go. I was going to say take a sledgehammer to it, and that solves that problem.
We've got one of those giant magnets that'll gloss it, and so we can send it down to the state office and have them throw it up there on their little magnet and turn it on. You can hear it go boom.
Degauss that.
As it fries every circuit in that thing. But
Fishing Kitty says I had one puzzle I did a 2 / meant C, or a 2 / was A, and a 2 pipe.
B. I understand a 2 pipe, but I
was B.
I would have thought that's the other way, but I guess it depends on which way.
2//
not?
That's interesting. Yeah, Dan. He remembers the days. I don't know if they even have those. I know you can find them, but I wonder if that guy's still doing the will it blend, where you throw the thing in a blender and see what comes out at the end. You know, will it blend? You have to have a powerful blender, but she says she calls it up and down slash.
Oh, that's a pipe.
I was taught it was pipe. Was that symbol?
Yeah, because I still deal with that some with pipe delimited files.
Yeah, but I guess in one descriptive way to put it, Teresa says is an up and down slash. But yeah, pipe. But yeah, I'm still back on her. 2 / is a C and 2 /. I mean, you could do.
Well, I understand.
So if you look at
it's just.
Yeah, if you look at the number 2 on your phone,
yeah,
right, you have the 2 / this way is the one on the right hand side of the 2, and the /, you know, was it
right.
The top of it is pointing which way you need to go, and whether it's up and down is telling you it's in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So it's telling you to either go this way on the 2 key, that way on the 2 key, or this on the 2 key.
Gotcha. Because I've got also this I can bring up, which I think is quite interesting. It shows the. Did I grab the right one? Is that the vanity phone? No, T9. Oh, it's the T9 converter one.
Yeah.
T9 converter looks like this. There's
now with that makes sense with what she's got. Mine on my iPhone, it's just the opposite. The letters are at the bottom, so depends on the phone. But it wouldn't matter either way, because if you spell it wrong, then and come up with something weird, well then okay, turn it around the other direction.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's saying also using an old rotary phone. Instead of one of the new ones. Interesting.
Good old rotary phones.
I wonder.
That would throw that probably if you put a rotary phone out there, you wonder how the percentage of the geocaching population now,
right,
that would just look at that and be like, I don't know how to dial the phone number. Be like, how many people?
Oh,
my grandmother had one hanging in her kitchen, so I had to know what a rotary phone, how to rotary dial. But could you imagine the number of people that are out there geocaching now that have actually never seen one? That's like people who don't understand that you used to have to pick up a deal and and crank on the box. Right. And then a lady somebody on the other end picked it up and said, "Who do you want to talk to?" And they moved a wire over.
Yes.
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that. Well, it still doesn't work though. Because like Charles said, it's one thing to put a rotary phone in front of a millennial, for example, but we've all, at least the three of us, have been there where you're trying to dial a 7-digit number, and if you mess up, if your fingers
if they had a 7 or 8 or 9,
hang up,
and they had a
you gotta get the 0 right. You gotta click that 0, because if you don't pull it around fast enough for those out there that've never done it before, if you don't, you can't just sort of willy-nilly it. You gotta you gotta put your finger in the, like where the 0 is, and you gotta pull hard. You gotta get all the way around the corner, all the way to the metal,
to the little stop.
Yeah. But I'm betting Charles has only done that with the plastic dial. The big thick plastic dial. We had one, and we had one with a thin metal dial on it. Yeah, that one, and it was like that put some muscles on you.
Daryl says, dialing long distance, forget it.
Yeah,
you can get in
I
a
can
car and drive
remember-
there quicker.
Well, and there was those phones were really handy when all you had to do was dial the last 4 digits of a phone number, right?
Yeah.
And so that tells you where how far it's been since I can remember when a day and time when all you had to do was dial the last 4 digits of a phone number, because there were only so many phone numbers, and you didn't have to dial the first 3 to dial in town, right? You just the last 4.
You grew up in a small city. I was in the big city, so
yeah. But man, let me tell you, it's, having to dial that, and then you get all the way to the, and then you have to hang up and do it again.
Start over again.
Yeah, it's
tricky. So there are. That's interesting. As time goes on, it's like our society kind of almost creates puzzle caches on its own, because people are going to go, "What's that?" Now, as Charles or as Tom pointed out, as we always say, there's an app for that. But
yeah, but you got to know what it is.
True.
And then there's this. When you were on the party line.
Oh yeah.
That predates me, but I can remember my mom and them talking about it. But I definitely grew up in the day of the rotary dial in my grandmother's kitchen. She had a blue phone that had it had like a 9,000 foot cord on it. I know for some people, their phones used to be attached to the wall, and they used to be connected by a cord, and you could only walk so far. And so my grandmother had one so that she could walk out of the kitchen, because there was only one phone in the house. She'd walk out of the kitchen and into the den in the living room, or through the kitchen and answer the front door, but still be on the phone. She had like the 9,000 foot slinky cable on that thing.
Now that's like a luxury to have something like that. Normally you'd have to stand right next to the phone.
Yeah, because it had a cord it had a cord this long on it.
Yeah. And you wished for the longer ones,
but she had
get a little private conversation. If you could get that cord long enough, you could get behind a door or something and talk to your girlfriend without having your parents going.
But she had. Yeah, that's right. Get off the phone. Yeah, she had a bright blue phone, and then she had a bright yellow, giant, long giant cord, so that she could walk wherever she wanted to, and not have to get off of the phone.
Yeah, well then, how about
what we're going to talk about next? It will make sense to your mom.
Yeah, really.
Charles is probably going to what?
What?
Yeah, Teresa's right. We had as a kid, you begged your parents for a phone jack in your bedroom so you could have your own phone.
I didn't do that. I drilled a hole through the wall and ran a line through it.
Ran your own cord through there?
Yeah.
Surprised your dad.
Ran it through a closet and.
Surprised your dad didn't whoop you.
Or no, I ran it. How did I do it? Somehow I ran something through the attic.
Oh, right. Go around through the wall of your bedroom in the attic.
What did I had something in the attic, because I had, maybe that was my ground from, I don't know, because I had back in the really old days before internet, with 300 baud stuff, and you had to dial it yourself and flip the switch, and
yeah, somebody was mentioning that earlier too. But once you switched, I remember the days when we switched our phone to just the punch. I was like,
the push button.
This is
life altering.
This is technology, man, with a capital T. Absolutely.
We probably put should have put these in order, because we're starting with modern stuff, and now we're going to go way back to the past, and then move forward again. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the past. We're going to go back to the 50s now.
Okay, we can do that.
And probably the 60s, and I vaguely remember our phone number being described this way. So maybe I don't know. It's probably on its way out in the 70s, but telephone exchanges. And we've got a Wikipedia page in there for that. But, phone numbers, most phone numbers are 7 digits.
Yes.
If you take out the area code. The exchange would replace the first two numbers or 3 numbers, depending on what kind of exchange it was, with letters. And then to make it easier those letters, there was a word associated. So in my house growing up, the phone number, I'll just give you the first 3 digits. It was 341. So we were in the diamond exchange. So it was 3 was a D. I mean, it uses the same thing that's on the phone keys now. 3 was a D, and 4 was an I. So it was DI. You could either write it as DI 1, and then the rest of the number, or you'd say diamond 1, rest of the number.
I put in the chat the page that has all of them in case you're interested. I'll put it in the show notes too. I think is in the show notes?
I had one from Wiki page, but you've got a different one there that probably works just as good.
That'll work. I'll add that one as well, just to have another reference point. But yes.
So the example I had in there was from a Glenn Miller song. Well, Glenn Miller didn't write the song, but he recorded it.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania 65000.
That's right.
And that was, name of the Glenn Miller and his orchestra recorded that, in 1940 in New York. And that was a phone number to the, what hotel did I say? Hotel, Pennsylvania.
That's right. Pennsylvania. Which would be
736 5000.
There we go.
So 73 would be PE. And they use Pennsylvania.
So does that work? Does that work if I wanted to call the Hotel California?
Well, California.
Probably not. But if you still dial this number, you're still going to get the hotel, and the answering thing will play part of the song for you.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
So, as we were talking before the show, I thought of how I would make a puzzle out of this, and I think I'm actually going to do this one. I would just put the 2 numbers, or maybe not even. Yeah, I'd put the 2 numbers up there. So, like, I'd put a giant 3 and a 4.
Yeah.
Show a picture of an old rotary phone, and then have certitude. So if I had 3-4.
Yeah.
The answer to certitude would be diamond. There's a couple other choices, recommended choices, but they're few. So
yeah. Oh yeah, you could do something like that.
Or you could go the other way around. Just write diamond up there, have the picture of the phone, and in certitude you got to put 3-4.
Yep. You can make it as difficult or as easy. Like that's fairly easy. You could kind of go down the. You go down the rabbit hole with, Bell. You could have something with the inventor of the phone and kind of go down this route. People go, I think he's talking about a phone. Oh, a phone. And he's giving me diamond. You might be able, I don't know. You can make it pretty difficult.
I'm wondering now what the first phone call, what it was. Would they say, Watson, come here, I need you, or something?
Yeah.
And wasn't the second phone call something about the car warranty being about to expire?
That's it. You're exactly right. It's good trivia. know if everybody knows about that one.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
You can make it look just like that.
Oh gosh.
That would be a good hint too.
And one was actually kind of tricky too, because you had to really kind of get the one perfectly. If you didn't, it didn't know what you were doing. The rest of them,
if you didn't get it far enough, then you ended up getting like a half.
Yeah.
It didn't quite recognize the one.
The one was a tough one, and the zero. You got to get the zero all the way around because you had to hear it, because it would flip around and then you take your phone or you take your finger off and it would spin back around.
Oh my gosh, if you had to dial 911 an emergency on that phone, you'd be dead before the 9 ever got through.
Yeah, things would happen that kids never hear today, which is that, doo-doo-doo, I'm sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service. Please try again.
Or they never hear beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep.
What's
Oh man,
that? It's a busy signal.
the phone's been.
What's a busy signal? Never mind.
You walk through the house, be like, you hear that? Did somebody leave the phone off the hook?
Oh yeah. Do you like our impressions of? Okay.
And caller ID was when you pick up the phone and said, "Hello, who is this?"
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then along someday came the answer machine. That was crazy.
Yeah, the answer machine before was pick up the phone and say hello.
That's right. We used to race to the phone back in the day. Now you're like, I don't know. I'm not answering that.
Yeah.
All right. So now
your phone tells you it's a spam alert. You're like, oh, spam alert.
That's at least now it says that. We're even further along now than that. So.
Mm-hmm.
What's the number for 911? Oh no.
So
now we're gonna go from rotary phones to the push button stuff.
Boop, 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 boop.
Which that sucked when the radio contest stuff and you still had to dial phone and this be the first caller, be the third caller, and it's like crap. You can't even. Yeah, they finally figured that out and wouldn't start answering the calls for a minute or two in it, but yeah, for a while there it sucked.
If you knew there was going to be a contest too, you could dial 6 numbers, wait for that 7th. If you were just right, you could push that number. If you waited too long, it would go to.
Yeah.
This number is no longer. Is like, dang it.
So then when you hit the phone numbers on your phone now and you hear that beep, that is a dual tone multi-frequency.
Oh.
So it's 2 different sounds making that one sound you're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Dual tone.
Yeah, it's called a DTMF code for dual tone multi-frequency, and we've got all this in the show notes about how the frequencies work or what the frequencies are. Because I've actually seen a puzzle use these.
Pretty slick.
And you would put the 2 frequencies together. So the first frequency slash the second frequency, and that would give you what number you just hit. So like if you wanted the number 5, it would be 770 and 1336.
Oh, wow. How did they designate that you were now switching to the next part of the number? Or was there a...
Well, I guess it's the other way around. So let's go backwards then.
Okay.
When you hit the 5 on your phone, it's playing those a sound at those 2 frequencies. Charles is going to okay, he's putting the thing up there.
Oh,
there you go.
Appreciate you.
Charles is a smart one here on this stuff. I can't do that. At least I can write it up, but I can't get it up there. So yeah, you hit the 5, it would play something at 770 hertz and 1336 hertz. And you would hear one sound, but it's two different sounds going on at the same time. And your phone is smart enough to know,
Right.
yes, that you're playing those two. And I don't have a clue why they pick those different hertz. I'm sure there's something to that. I am not an electrical or telephone engineer. Don't claim to be. But
Just
as
play
for
one
the
on TV.
puzzle, as for the puzzle part of it, though, I have seen this where you'd see a number, a slash, and another number, and it'd be the two frequencies, and that would represent what number you really wanted in there.
Oh wow.
So if you saw 770/1336, you know that was a 5.
Two tones made it tougher to hack phone systems with a simple tone generator, which is because early on you could make a long distance call if you could
In a payphone.
Yeah. But when they go to two tone, you couldn't, it was much more difficult, like Pizza Ninja was saying. Apparently there's some DTMF in the mother of all puzzles puzzle cache. So interesting.
Sure. And that just answered your question, Teresa. So MOAP is the mother of all puzzles.
Mother of all puzzles.
If you go all the way back up to the top, somebody put the GC code in the chat, and it's in here. So it's in Ohio. You can go check it out. It's a 5 difficulty puzzle, 50 different stages.
Yeah,
levels, something like that. Anyhow,
yeah, cool.
All right.
Is that something we can solve while we're at Mingo?
We're gonna be busy.
Okay.
You're gonna have plenty of time. You can do it all night if you want.
We got enough palm trees to go find, palm tree puzzles to go find, that we ain't got time to solve anything else.
We're gonna have to be going through those. There is in the show notes the links to the DTMF, the dual tone multi-frequency. Also, you can see it if you want to. I got a picture of it. Pardon me. At least, I mean, I didn't know they had one of these, but apparently you can actually see what it looks like. Let's see if I can share the right one. There we go.
What is that stuff on the right?
That's part of it's a 16-digit dual tone multi-frequency signal maker. The red keys in the fourth column produce the A, B, C, D of the DTMF events.
But why FO, FI, and P?
So they must have had something that connects to the something must be. Notice there's no pound symbol. Back in the day, we call it a pound symbol. If you asked a millennial now, they'd say it's a hashtag. It's like no.
It's
pound,
a pound.
or number sign.
Pound and a number sign.
And then that star on that one looks like a star and not an asterisk.
Yeah, this one has a star, but when we were growing up, it'd have an asterisk there.
So what's the A for?
I don't know.
I wonder what that's.
Little wiki reading to figure some of that out. This is the Autovon system. In case you were wondering. Anyway, on with the show. Onwards and upwards. Yeah, thanks. Jeff made a note. I linked some DTF tools on the tool page. Thank you, my friend. Definitely check that out. Jeff's got a lot of the tools in tools.cachetheline.net. You can go there to find a lot of the tools. Or if you have suggestions, I'm sure Jeff would be willing to.
Ooh, that decoder did he just put up? This one. So,
okay.
Jeff, that says sound detect. So if I play the sound, will it tell what frequencies it is? Does it work like that?
I don't know. That's kind of cool.
For like an audio puzzle?
Yeah.
Darrell was saying there was a long A and a short A. That's why it had that.
The A and the A. Oh, Lord.
Goodness.
All right. And if you're going to hide a puzzle cache that is like this,
Yes.
all of your puzzle cache finals need to be in like an old phone booth or
Really?
an empty payphone spot. There's ways to make it, right? You know, I had a traditional at one point in time called E.T. Took His Phone Home, and it was just an old Southwestern Bell, you know, in the corner of a gas station, so you could pull up and talk to it while you were still in your car.
Oh yeah,
and whatnot. But find one of them. They're still out there. They still exist. There was actually a payphone just like that in Cisco, where we were at, and when me and Laura went driving past, there was a rancher pulled up next to it, had the phone in his hand, in there talking on the telephone. I was like, he put 35 cents in there to make a phone call. You see that? And it still worked. Like, we swung back by it later and picked it up. Sure enough, there was a dial tone on the other end. So,
if you can get your hands on one of these, then not the guy. Nobody. I don't know who the guy is, but the big red English box. Now that would make it even a greater, or a TARDIS would be great too. But I kind of like the big red English box as well. That's kind of a cool.
There's one of those in Galveston.
Yep, I've done that one in Galveston.
Yep, there's a little magnetic nano up in one of the inside corners. Yep.
Wow.
I did that when I was down there getting a couple of webcam caches. 3D print. Oh Lord, how much 3D? How much plastic you would need for that?
Yeah, really.
Although it would probably get a favorite point from me if you did that.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah,
back in 3 years when it's through printing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Charles said, if you can somehow procure yourself some proper equipment of the time, maybe an old phone that you a phone in the woods that you have to go find.
I found a phone or two in the woods that were caches.
Well, what you do is you have them solve it over here, and then when you have to get to the final is also a phone. You know, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the theme going.
That's right. And then now, high tech, you can have a phone number without actually having to have a phone,
which is crazy talk.
Which is crazy talk. But if you have a Google email account, you can sign up for Google's voice services that they offer. Sign up is free.
Yep.
And we have the website for the sign up in the show notes, but it's voice.google.com/u/0/sign up. Right. And so you can go into Google Voice, get you a Google Voice number. And then I've seen this where where the puzzle gave you a telephone number at the end. And you're like, well, or it gave you a random digits of numbers that you're looking at. And once you looked at it long enough, you realized it was a phone number and you had to call it. And when you called it, the voicemail on the other end said the final to the geocache coordinates that you were looking for were north this and west that. And so it was, once you solve the puzzle and realize that, oh, this is a phone number, they're not giving me coordinates, there wasn't a certitude, and you
Right.
realize that, oh, this is an area code and a phone number. You call it, the voicemail would tell you what you were looking for. And so it is a fun, neat way to add an additional twist to a puzzle, is to sign up for you a free
free
Google Voice number, set up the see, and the Pizza Ninja has one. So sign up for a free Google Voice, make you a voicemail, and then submit that thing, publish it, and get it done.
So that number, you can call it. It doesn't ring anywhere. It's just an answering machine.
It's a virtual answering machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to set it up. Yeah.
You have to set it up, but you can set it up and then
simple to set up.
And then, like, I have the Google Voice app on my phone because my personal phone has 2 phone numbers, one that I give my ex-wife and then one that I give everybody else in the world. And I know when the one rings, don't answer that one. No, but it's, you can set it up to where, like, if I went and took the Google Voice app off of my phone, the phone number that I have associated to that is still assigned to my Gmail account.
Right.
It will still ring. It's just not going to ring my phone. It's not going to ring my computer. Now, you will get an email that tells you,
yes,
if I recall correctly, you get an email that tells you had a missed call from this number.
Right.
So, don't do it on your main Gmail account.
No.
Right? Like, make
calls.
Make you a, GC77156@gmail.com email account specifically for that GC code number.
Exactly.
Right? And whatnot. So, but Google Voice is free, and you can set it up and have the answering machine, the voicemail, give out the final coordinates, and then they can call it and listen to it as many times as they want. If, for whatever reason, they're like, oh, they got to go find a pen, to write something down. So there you go.
I had going through my head just now. That's why I asked that. Because I've done caches where you hit a doorbell.
Yes.
And it rings, 50 feet away or whatever. And I've done the key fob thing, where it's the common one here was called "Does a Gnome Fart in the Woods?" And you'd hit it and it'd play this farting sound. And the really good ones took you to a little tiny outhouse with a gnome in it.
Oh gosh.
And I was just wondering, well, that would be kind of cool if you could have one where you dial a number, dial the number, and it rings somewhere in the woods. That would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, there may be ways to do that.
All right, and there's some other ways that you can do a phone style cache. This one is currently temporarily disabled because it's located in Seattle and it's located inside the HQ building, and whatnot. But and it's part of the geocaching headquarters geo tour, right? But it's the Ode to the Golgafracken phone workers.
That's actually not in HQ, but it's right down the street from it.
No, actually, they moved it. Because the business down there at the corner that it used to be in is no longer.
Yeah.
Oh, so man.
Currently, that one is sitting about 15 feet from the actual treasure chest where the headquarters log is. So those two are way, way, way too close. I'm not going to tell HQ to archive one of them.
No, probably not a good idea.
If they do, they need to leave the telephone one up and archive headquarters, since I've already found it. But this one, if you look at the cache page, so let me share the cache page with you guys.
Go for it.
Let's see this one. So this one, he gives you this code. 1 equals blue, 2 equals gold, 3 equals black, but you can tell that the colors don't match, right? So blue is actually in gold font, and gold is in purple font, and black is in red font.
Yeah.
The GC code for this one, dun, 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 is GC32 Alpha Zero Hotel, A0H, right? And so you come down here and you can look at it. And this is what you get on the cache page. It really doesn't make any sense to you at some level until you get to the actual pay phone.
Oh, you're right.
And then it makes sense. The easiest thing to do is print, and we realized this later, is to print this page in black and white.
Oh.
Right? So let me stop sharing this screen and share this other, because somebody somewhere
they created one,
took a really good photo of said phone booth.
Oh,
right?
I see. Yes.
And so when you look at this, you can see where he is numbered or color coded each key.
Right.
So he's color coded each key. Let me see if I can.
That's pretty good. Yeah, he's
right?
color
So
coded.
he's color coded each key, and so blue, when he gives you one, is blue, right? So you've got to go through. He's got a little puzzle, and you've got to call the phone number that you get, and you can see in the bottom down here the coin tray actually pops open, and that's where the log sheet is for this one.
Right.
And this one is located, like I said, within about 12 feet of the log for headquarters, and then, once all of this stuff opens back up and headquarters can start having visitors again, you can go in and solve this one. But it is a neat twist on a telephone cache and whatnot. So, I don't know how one would go about procuring a payphone like this. I still see a bunch of them in like DIA, and they had some at Phoenix Sky Harbor. And so you'd be like, hey, I wonder how I can get one of those.
How much are those?
Before they get rid of them. So anyway, that is a cool. That was one of my favorite caches on the headquarters tour when we were there in 2015 for the last block party. But
nice.
So it is a neat kind of twist to some of this for phoning a friend and whatnot. So,
absolutely. That is awesome.
Let's see.
Very cool.
What is this one?
Yeah, what's the next one you got there?
It's a virtual cast.
Yeah, this is one that Jesse did and suggested with putting the show notes. But if you want to pull that one up, Charles,
yeah, so, I'm going to pull it up and share.
Yeah, it's done by old K Blast. So patron of the show, and he created this a while back. It's been out there. Let's see, 2017. So it's one of the newer, relatively newer, but it takes a little work to get there, to get all of them done, because you have to drive to 3 different locations around Grove City. It's called Grove City Remembers. It's GC7 Bison 77 Water, if you use the geocaching alphabet. And you choose your phone and you call these different numbers. You text on one, and they'll reply back. And so you kind of work your way through the puzzle, but it's a way to to kind
Now,
of use it.
are you ready for this? What kind of geocache is this, Gary?
It's not a puzzle.
Well, what is this? What's the little ghost one?
It's virtual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It wasn't a trick question.
Okay.
So it is a. But if you come down here and look at the owner maintenance log,
isn't that the newer virtual though? If you look at old virtual, I think the icons are different a little bit.
oh, you're looking for this old ghost icon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see where it was temporarily disabled, right? And you scroll down here and container is gone. I fix things soon.
Huh.
Whoops, wrong cache. I like how he did that instead of just going back and deleting his log.
Oh, he fixed it. He temporarily disabled it. That's funny.
He disabled it because the container is gone. So, yeah,
right.
Funny stuff.
Virtual, yeah,
yeah.
The big red English box is another one. If we want to, I showed it earlier, but the idea is similar to what we were talking about before, where the person had basically purchased a giant English phone box. I mean, he had it shipped from England to his house. He had all the glass taken out and carefully packed, shipped to his house, and it's sitting right there on the side of his house there, and he gives you the information, but you walk up, you go into the red English box. What's funny too about that one, Charles, and Tom, if you ever get to go do that one, the other cool thing is he had all the phone books that were actually in there brought over with him. So it's kind of fun to look through the old British phone books. But you pick it up, there's a dial tone. It's a dial tone signal, not the old dial tones. But if you pick it up, it sends you the wave file that's a dial tone. You make a phone, you can call anywhere in the US for free, because I think it's Google Voice. And he gives you a phone number, you call it, and it gives you the coordinates to the final. So it's not a puzzle, but it's a multi, but you can easily use these kind of thoughts. As we always say, take these kind of things and make them your own.
Run with it. Absolutely.
Yeah, run with it. So what a great idea. I mean, I don't think you want to go to the expense of something like that, but
you might. Maybe you can find one on Craigslist for a good deal.
You might be able to.
I don't know. David, Team D&D, they've got a cache at one in Valley View, Texas. That's in a phone booth that still works.
Right.
But you don't have to put the coins in, but you can make a call from there.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, there's ways you can you can sort of keep the wheels turning. You might be able to come up with something similar. Like Charles said, the Google Voice, if you can find a way to incorporate that, people can make a call to that number from anywhere. So there's ways for, if you have a way to get a phone and a way to get it to make a phone call, you can then make the ending of it be the Google Voice with the information, or the next puzzle. You can have a series of phone numbers that they have to call to get the correct information. So,
yep.
Cool. Great ideas, guys.
Yeah, lots of good ideas for phone-related geocaches and phone-related puzzles. So Yeah, get out there and
Who?
Twilla?
Dave? Dave's not here.
Dave's not here. No,
Dave.
Dave.
No, I'm Dave.
I'm Dave. Twilio apparently is an interactive project pre-geocaching, which was fantastic, programmable. Okay.
There we go.
All right.
All right, guys.
Pre-geocaching. What was that?
Pre-geocaching. The days.
That's like pre-internet. Like,
Yeah.
Lord.
All right. Well, next show is, I think, May 11th, which would be very important because you want to get things solved before May 11th.
And an email sent to puzzletalkpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go.
There you go. That's where you need to send your answers if you and I answer them. I owe somebody a response to
but you're pretty much up on it.
But yeah, if you send in a response to this, for the t-shirt puzzle, I'm pretty good about sending it back to you and telling you you're wrong.
You're really good at telling them they're off.
I've gotten I've gotten a couple of requests. Dire Wolf has sent me one, and I told him he was nowhere, no, not even.
Dire Wolf says, "Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. You're wrong. He is not the father."
But he did get one of my trackables in the mail, so
nice.
I mean, it evens out.
It
evens out. So yeah, you got 3 weeks to get an answer in. If you can get an answer before our next show, remember you get our blue coin mailed to you. You'll get let me see, I've got one here somewhere. Hang on. You'll get a plain old, the new plain old Sunday show coin.
The new old Sunday show.
That's right. Tom will eat a number 4 and a Dr. Pepper shake for you.
Yes, he will.
And then I have a 1-year premium membership on a gift card that is redeemable that I will send you as well in the same package that I send your blue coin in. Nice. So if you can get an answer so Teresa's like, what shirt puzzle? So Teresa, you got to go back and watch the very beginning of the show because on the back of our Puzzle Talk shirts that are available in our geocaching store, there's a puzzle on the back. And if you can solve that puzzle, you get some sweet swag. So there's the link right there in the show for the geocaching store. Yep. Get on there, look at the Puzzle Talk shirts. You have to purchase one of those in order to get a readable copy of the puzzle in its entirety. And so get in there, do some research, buy you a t-shirt that looks good, support the show.
Yep.
And get you a cool shirt to wear around to your geocaching events. And maybe if you don't have a clue how to solve it, maybe somebody at one of your events that you go to will. So get in there, go to the chromiaprint.com/collections/geocaching, or you can go to geocachetalk.com and in the upper right-hand corner, click on the store tab, and that'll take you to the Chromia store, and you can get all of your geocache talk related merchandise there. But specifically for this, the Puzzle Talk shirt that has the puzzle on the back, and you can get that if you're not the first person to solve it, but you're the first person to go to the coordinates.
Yes.
There is a blue coin for you. as well as one of my Pathfinder 33 trackables.
Yep.
So both of those are actually physically hidden at the location that you get from solving the puzzle.
Yep.
So, you know, the puzzle, if you can solve it, is open to anyone. We'll ship these coins to you worldwide. So for our Aussies and our Kiwis down in New Zealand, and even our European listeners who are listening on the show afterwards, if you can get a hold of the shirt and get you and solve the puzzle, I'll internationally mail it to you. So no big deal there. So fret not.
Does that mean if it's on the other side of the hemisphere, do I have to eat that Whataburger upside down?
We're gonna hang you from a seesaw.
That's right.
And make you do it.
Well, let's throw this in too. You have until Mingo, I guess. If you got a topic you'd like to see us cover, send it to this Gmail address hopefully before Mingo, so that way we have some time to work on it. Because I guess at Mingo, Gary's going to make us work and be busy, and if he's not, then Ryan will. Somebody's going to put us to work doing something.
Yeah.
I guess shinny up all those palm trees, getting caches down.
Yeah.
But if you got a topic you want us to cover, send it in here.
That's right. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. That was a good show.
And shout out to DCI Gary, who was in the chat room, one of my local buddies here. Oh,
good. Excellent. All right. Well, if we don't see you at Mingo, we'll see you again on May 11th for the next show. So we will see you then. Send in your info, and we will see everybody soon.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.